because they have a $20 million grant from the federal government to institute this. They have lots of money for graphic artists and important for anything you want to do. Here's the example of what they say is what's wrong with the city, is that some blocks have all the spaces occupied, other blocks have some vacancies. So the idea is you raise the price on the top block and you lower it on the bottom block, you get something like this. It's that simple. Some people think that these charging market prices for parking are an enormous social upheaval compared to like the Reformation or Prohibition. Enormous change in the way we do live our lives. But look at the small change can achieve what is a good result. So it's very easy to legislate this. Here's the exact ordinance language in one city in Northern California, is that the city council ceased trying to set the price for every parking space and micromanage it and say it should be $1 an hour with a limit of 2 hours. They did what a policy body should do, is they set the policy of what they want the parking supply to do, to be readily available, but well used. And they say they establish it, they give the Transportation Authority the responsibility to move the price up and down, and the council members can just look out the window and see if they've done their job. If the spaces are half empty, the price is too high. If the spaces won't full, the price is too low. And they made this popular by returning the money to the metered zone, so that all of the affected parties, the stakeholders, as we all now, supported it. It passed the city council unanimously. They also removed the time limits on curb parking, because if the prices are going to set create vacancies, you don't need to force turnover. You shouldn't have a low price and force people out of spaces at the end of 24 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour. You should let people park as long as they're willing to pay. Because the curb parking is more expensive than the off-street parking. Anybody who wants to park for a long time naturally gravitates to the off-street parking. So it's as simple as the Goldilocks principle of parking prices. We all learned this as a children. Beds shouldn't be too soft or too firm, but parking prices shouldn't be too high or too low. And I think one of the problems with our existing system of having low prices is that it creates cruising for curb parking, which is driving around the block. We've all done it many times, hunting for a curb parking space. Here's a situation you can face in almost any city. The curb parking is cheaper than off-street parking. How long would you be willing to drive around hunting for a curb space rather than pay to park off-street? We all face this problem. And because of this problem, there's an awful lot of cruising for curb parking. And here's a survey, a sort of summary of surveys. The first one was in 1927, hopefully in Detroit, finding that 20 to 30, 50 to a third of all the cars on the street were cruising for curb parking. The most recent ones were in New York with a very clever technique of interviewing drivers who were stopped at the traffic lights and asked them if they were hunting for curb parking. And you can see that here, on one spot, 20%, and the other was 45% of the cars were cruising for park. That is an environmental and transportation crime. Just think of the wasted fuel, the air pollution, creating congestion. And this is sort of what it looks like. This was a study done in Chicago in 1939. Where they stationed, I'm sure they were undergraduates at all the corners. They noticed every car they passed, every intersection, wrote down the license plate at the exact time so they could recreate the path of travel of every car. Some people were obsessed with parking around on the block, and some people were open to new experiences. And this leads to a lot of very risky behavior. People are only focused on trying to get a parking space. They ignore bicyclists. They ignore pedestrians. And you see, I've seen it happen. If a car sees a vacancy on the other side of the street. They'll make a U-turn in the middle of the street, which is very dangerous. And here's some grainy footage I got in research in Westwood. She does whatever it takes to get it. Well, here is the zone we found in Westwood Village when we studied this for a year. In this little 15-block area, there were almost 1 million miles of vehicle travel hunting for underpriced car parking. And after you get to this little 15-block area, there are 1 million miles a year of traffic hunting for underpriced car parking. So on average, there were 2 cars circling every block, and it took only 3 minutes to find a space. But there's so many people who park in a year that it all adds up. That's equal to 4 trips to the moon in a 15-block area. It's happening all over the earth. All over the earth. Here's a some people say it's un-American to charge per park. Even if it does, it is would help the environment. But I think it's very American to charge people for what they use. Here's a picture of homeowners around the LA Coliseum during the Olympics in 1984, and it happens during every event at the Coliseum. The residents park their own cars on the street and rent out their driveways to ticket holders. Some people think it's too difficult to do what I'm saying because they have the idea that all parking meters are like the original parking meter in 1935. As you put your money in the slot, you turn the lever, and you hope to get back before your time runs out. So when they were invented, they were condemned as being a devilish combination of an alarm clock and a slot machine. But that's because most Americans don't know all the progress that's happened everywhere else on Earth. We're now lagging behind the rest of the Earth of meter technology. Here's a parking meter, the sort that some cities have put in, maybe New Haven has them, but this is on the UCLA campus. It's designed to look like a retro parking meter. But it doesn't even accept coins. It accepts only credit cards and dollar bills. It doesn't tell you what the price is until you push a button. Any button. And then it tells you what the price is at that time. And here it is. It doesn't even tell you what the price per hour is, but of course it's $3 for the first hour and $4 for the second hour. Well, let's see, is this too high? Is this asking too much for college students to pay? Well, I say you can't tell whether the price is right until you look at the results. So I think some of you are aware that professors have a lot of spare time, and I set up my camera across from the meter and looked at 8 parking spaces controlled by this meter. You can see there's the meter and there's somebody paying. And I think that 1 out of 8 spaces should be vacant, around that. But let's look what happened during the outbreak. You see the shadows move as the time goes by. Some people leave, some people go. Sometimes all the spaces were full, but they were quickly vacancies, sometimes 2 vacancies. Once 3 vacancies, then they filled up. So this is what happened at the end of the hour. And I think that this shows to me that that was the right price in that location at that time. And I don't see how anybody can argue saying it's too high or it's too low. What principle would you use to say that price was wrong? It would be different at a different time, but that's what I'm arguing for.